I do want to rewind and I want to start things off with a retribution because that was I can only imagine interesting time for you.
Say it.
I was
Say it.
it was an interesting time for you. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's you come out there, your physique, by the way, is freaking phenomenal. So
Oh,
kudos
you
on
should see
that.
it now. It's even better.
Yeah.
Wait until I come back. It's gonna be even better.
But you got the mask. They're out there having you guys kind of be a little bit goofy. It probably wasn't the ideal thing for you, but break it down, man. How did this all happen? Where did the pitch come about? What did you think of it, and how did you feel being part of Retribution?
There was no pitch. Uh, if you remember correctly, the initial appearance of Retribution was a bunch of extras because there were a bunch of like really small guys at the time. That's actually how I ended up being in it. Was there were a bunch of little small guys that were extras. They had no idea who they wanted it to be, from what I understand. And I think they were trying to do an Antifa thing. I think that was the idea. But at the same time, this is it's a very big company. There's not really much room for controversy anymore. So at some point, they were like, "Yeah, maybe we shouldn't, but we already did this big angle, and we need to kind of finish it in some capacity." So I actually got added to it, kind of. The next week, after the next week, the Twitter had made fun, or X, formerly known as Twitter, made fun of all the little guys in the Antifa masks that were wreaking havoc on the place. And I think Vince says, "Well, let's get some bigger guys." So there was a group of NXT Performance Center guys that were on the bigger side, so that they had more intimidating masked men running amok. I believe I speared Big E in that segment, and I kept my head down because I was like, "Hey, if I can," because I wasn't doing anything in NXT. I was like, if I can stick in this and somehow slip through into actually getting unmasked and be stuck in it, this will be the best moment of my life. So yeah, no, I kept doing it. I made sure I was always one of the extras that was in it, and somehow when unmasking day came, I was one of the unmasked guys, and yeah, that's the funny thing. As goofy and as bad as it was the best opportunity I ever had. So I was very appreciative of it, and all the guys in it. Dijak, who's killing it in NXT now. Shane Haste, who's killing it all over the world right now. Mia, who I will only call Reckoning because that's what Vince named her, and Ali later on. We all went into it and we wanted to make it work. And sometimes that's an uphill battle. It can be difficult, but we very much approached it as like, you know what? Nobody's gonna make this work but us, so let's try and make the most of it. So that was kind of our attitude.
And you bring up a great point because, like, for you at that point, that was going to be a something that can catapult you into something else, right? Like, you just have to be there. You got to get your TV time. You got to have something, right? And so, at what point did you realize, hey, this is probably not going to work, and they're probably going to cut this out, at some point? Like, when did you start to realize that?
When it stopped being, so if you remember, retribution segments were really like we were finishing the show. We had the really cool angle with the Hurt Business, which did really well everywhere. We had a really cool segment with Wyndham and Alexa, and there were like we had a lot of cool moments. But as soon as those cool moments started drifting down, and we were like, they're not really feeling it. I think they just want to kind of kill it. I could tell that it was probably time to start thinking of something else. I think, yeah, we broke up. They had me and T-Bar chokeslam Ali, and then there was no direction for a while. But it was like a gradual descent of like, oh yeah, we were in these highly featured segments, so like we're in these kind of featured segments. But yeah, Thunderdome was wild.